using still.
Hey Visha, how you doing? How you doing? Happy Wednesday. This week is already going by fast. Y'all, we are literally already at the halfway point of July. I'm gonna say that again. We're already 2 days from now, we'll be halfway through July. I don't know about y'all, but these months are going through fast. They're going by so fast. It almost feels like, for me, in the beginning part of this year, I don't know if y'all felt this way, but it just seemed especially when I was having to endure so much, it felt like the months were taking forever in a day. Oh man, come on. I keep thinking it's Thursday too. For real, Visha. January, February, March, even April, it felt like those months were long, very long, versus now, it just seems like things are speeding up. We wake up one day, it's a new month, wake up the next day, it's literally the middle of the month. And so our declaration on today, yesterday I took some time to rest and focus more on completing this shirt order, and so I wasn't able to get on. I'm just one person, and God knows, after doing those shirts, I still have more to finish. But I was tapped. I was tapped. But our declaration on today is don't worry what comes next. Yeah. I know the title says embrace the now, but the declaration that some of y'all need to tell yourself is you need to stop worrying about what comes next. I'm going to say it again. Don't worry about what comes next. Hold on one second, you guys. Don't worry about what comes next. I'm going to say it one more time. Don't worry about what comes next. That's one of the things that this morning, the Holy Spirit just kept reminding me, right? As I was going on my morning walk, talking to God about some things. And the Lord just kind of settled my spirit when he told me, he said, listen, if you're going to enjoy these days, I know you're in a new season and excitement brings curiosity, but for right now, just embrace the things that you see me doing and don't worry about what comes next. I'm going to say it again. Hey, Miss Allen, don't worry about what comes next. Y'all ever been there before where you can look at a situation and you have your own mindset concerning what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and it just totally robs you of your ability to embrace what God is doing in that moment. I think we've all been there. But this morning I was walking and my sofa comes Monday. And so one of the things I was asking God about was Lord, when are these people going to pick up these sofas? I have not been able to get in contact with them. I'm like, Lord, when? When they going to pick up these sofas? Because I don't have room for two. And I'm doing this as I'm walking. And what God told me, he said, if you're going to be able to enjoy what I'm doing in this season, you've got to stop worrying and wondering about what happens next. Trust me. And I knew that in that moment, what God was saying was, I need you to embrace this moment of you just walking and spending time with me. Not being worried about things, not wondering about the future, how certain things are going to play out. Like, embrace your right now. And if we can be real, like, some of us are in like two different phases. Some of us are already seeing God do some things. And then it's like some of us are like coming out of that phase of going through so much, waiting on God to do whatever it is that you've been waiting on, right? And it's like, in that moment, for the people that are waiting, right? You're coming out of that phase of waiting and about to enter into that phase where God does it. It gets real easy to like do what you did in the struggle. Because let's be real, there were some things that some of us have gone through where it's like we had no other choice but to worry. Even when we tried not to worry, our minds still went to that place, right? For many of us, we've been in those phases where we're waiting on God to do something and nothing's happening. And we just sit and we think about, what can I do here? What can I do here? We start brainstorming, right? Which a lot of times leads to anxiety, leads to a person being depressed, and it'll make you weary. And so in essence, what God is saying is, don't carry that mindset over into this season. There's a piece that's here. He says, don't carry that mindset into this new season. I need somebody to type that in. Don't carry that mindset into this season. For some people, don't carry that survival mode instinct over into this season. Because this season is not like any other season that we've been through before. And I know that some people are in that bitter place where you don't want to hear God say that, because you look around and you like, Lord, every single time you said it was, the season shifted, my circumstance remained the same. The things I've been dealing with remain the same. Hey, Natasha. But I'm going to be real. This is not that time to be bitter with God. Because honestly, being bitter keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck. And I'm going to be real. There are some of y'all that the Holy Spirit is showing me. Like, you woke up worrying about some things that ain't even happened yet. Who are you? Like, for real. Some of y'all literally, you woke up this morning with something weighing on your mind. I'm going to tell you what God told me. No, sweetie. Embrace the now. What is God doing right now? What's up, Pastor Ron? It's so easy to get far ahead of God. It's so easy. And it goes both ways. It's so easy when you're in that phase of waiting for God to do some things, to let your mind run 10 steps ahead of God. But on the flip side, it's so easy that in moments where like you see the freshness, you see the newness of a new season of what God is doing in your life, it's so easy to like look at, to also take what God is doing, and instead of, living in that moment of being grateful, to think about what you need God to do next. So my question to you is, what has God done for you today? What has he done for you today? For some of us, we get into the mindset of when God does come through for us, our mindset immediately shifts over into the next thing that we need to see him do. That we don't even really take the time to appreciate what he's done, like right then and there. I'm going to say that again. Like some of us, like I've been guilty of this. I'm sure every single person has been guilty of this, whether in the past, whether recently, where you see God do one thing, and instead of you just taking that moment to embrace what he just did, your mindset immediately goes to the next thing you need to see him do. The next thing. And how it translates to God is we treat him like a Santa Claus. All right, God, you did this, now do this, do that, do that. And then to further like prove that point, we get mad when he doesn't do certain things within our time frame. We get mad when certain things don't happen. But the key in this season to really living in the fullness of what God is doing is to embrace what he's doing right now. The key in this season to having an abundance of joy, peace, being able to experience the love of God, being able to maintain your focus, is to focus on the right now. The Bible tells us tomorrow has its trouble of its own. I'm going to say that again. Tomorrow has its own trouble. And to the person that needs to hear this, there's an individual on here where there's something in particular you've been asking God about. It's not necessarily asking him to do, but it's a situation that you've been asking God, what should you do? And the Lord says to tell you that if he's not dealing with you about it, it means it's not time. If he's not dealing with you about it, if he himself hasn't began to move in that area, it simply means that it ain't time. It means it ain't time. That's for somebody. Like I can almost see you. You know who you are. Like you literally been asking God for strategy. Daddy, how do I do this? What do you want me to do about this situation? It's like you got a whole list of situations where you almost feel like, God, what do I do about it? And you're so focused on something that has not yet happened, something that God is not even dealing with, that you're missing the blessing of your right now. See, the world tells us, think ahead. Yeah. The world tells us that. Think ahead. Be strategic. Plan it out. God is strategic, right? But when we do it God's way, he tells us to live in the now. That's where your peace is. That's where your joy is. That's where favor resides. When you can embrace the now, I guarantee you'll hardly ever deviate from God's perfect will for your life. God understands the circumstances weighing on you. He knows the things that are near and dear to your heart, Pastor. I don't know why that just came out. He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows that bothers you. There are some things where we can be real. It means so much to us. And so it's like every day that we go without it, it's so dreadful. The worry sets in each and every single day. It heightens. And what God is saying is, let it go and embrace where you are right now. That was literally what I had to do with my furniture. God says I need to share this. I know to like some people, like, you like, Apostle, it's just furniture. But like when I sold my couch, I did it because I was surrendered. I knew God was telling me to. But originally, I didn't want to give away my furniture. I didn't want to sell none of it. I didn't. But I obeyed God. I did what he needed me to do. But every single day, even though I was grateful for what I had, like, I was trying to make it work. But my mind would go there reminiscing to my sofa, like it's comfort. Just the look of it. But I never complained. I prayed about it. But I let it go. And when it was time, God brought it back around again. But what I did was I chose to embrace the right now. God, this is what I have right now. So let me embrace it. It may not be a forever type of deal. It may not be like what I want, like for a long term. But Lord, I'm going to make the most of it. And I believe that right now in this season, God is saying, make the most of where you are. Like while I'm doing things in your life, embrace it. Allow yourself to. Somebody actually needs to start enjoying life again, living again. You treat that ministry like a chore now. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's for somebody. You treat that ministry like a chore now. What once started, you treat that business like a chore now. I hear you, Lord. There are some of y'all. It's a chore. The excitement, the enjoyment, the fulfillment, it's not there anymore. Because you're so focused on the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, that you fail to just realize the blessing of what you have right now. For some of y'all, that's why you haven't seen the elevation. It's because you're not enjoying the right now. You're not enjoying what you have. It's a choice, something that you feel like, God, I gotta do this. I don't enjoy it, but I gotta do it because you said do it. It ain't in your heart anymore. Because you're so worried about the money that you need to make to pay this bill, to pay that bill, to handle this in your household, to do that. And it's tainted things. Don't be like the children of Israel. Don't be like them. Because there is a such thing as not truly seeing how blessed you are, but focusing more on the things that you don't have, the things that you need, that you don't actually get to enjoy what you do have. And it doesn't rob anybody but you. It steals your peace. It steals your joy. It steals your ability to just truly live life. And it affects your work ethic. I don't care what nobody says. I don't know who needed this message, but you need to embrace what God is doing right now. You may not be where you want to be. I'm not where I want to be. But I've learned to be content, to be grateful, to live in the right now. I'm learning. Present, I'm learning how to accept that just because I feel that it's time for God to do some things doesn't mean that it's time. I'm learning to accept that no matter what happens, I'm still blessed. I'm still blessed no matter what I have, no matter what I need. I am still blessed. God is still good. He's still God. He's still on the throne. He's still sovereign. Stop worrying about what tomorrow holds. Stop worrying about next month, next week. What about today? Today matters just as much as those other days. Because if you can't get through today the right way, the God way, you won't be able to make it to those other days. Yeah, the days where you're living in what you prayed for, the days where what you've been fasting for becomes a reality, those days. If you can't make it, come here, Bo. Come here. Okay, sir. If you can't make it through today the right way, and I mean actually be able to genuinely enjoy this day, to not let your needs dictate your ability to enjoy, to not let what you feel you're lacking dictate whether or not you show up today, baby, you won't make it to them other days. You won't make it. Sir, what are you doing? You won't make it. Sorry, y'all. You won't make it. And some of y'all wonder why it hasn't happened, why the blessing hasn't come. Somebody type in on the screen, embrace the now. Leave Capone alone, Bo. Embrace the now. Some of y'all literally need to remind yourself, embrace the now. Some of y'all started this day wrong. You started it worrying about this bill, that bill, how you gonna make it to your next payday. Who was that for? You immediately start thinking about what you didn't have. And God is just simply saying, embrace your right now. He knows our needs. He knows our wants. He knows the desires of our hearts. But we got to learn to be grateful where we are. We got to learn to be content where we are. We got to learn to do that. We got to learn to trust that God, if it hasn't happened, doesn't mean that it won't happen. It'll happen right on time. Embrace your right now. That's where your peace is going to come from. That's where that joy of the Lord will hit you. Embrace it right now. Whew. And that's it. No more worrying. This is not a season where any of us really have to worry. This ain't that season. This ain't that season. This is not the season where we got to toil. This is not the season. This is that he's bringing it back around type of season. This is that he's making it new season. This is that he did it again type of season. This is that I understand the why type of season. Bo, come from behind that couch. Oh, there he is. This is that type of season. Some of us are accustomed to worrying, being stressed out, being anxious. Some of us are accustomed to having to fight that we don't even know what it's like to be in a season where God says you don't have to fight that way no more. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to safeguard yourself like that anymore. You don't have to be on guard like that anymore. Some of us don't even know how to receive that. It's just like a person that's been so used in abusing relationships that the moment that God brings them a divine connection, they don't know how to receive that love because they're so used to receiving a certain type of toxic love. And we've seen people ruin people that God sent to bless them because they're so used to things being a certain way. And that's what God is saying about this season. Don't bring that old stuff into this new season. Don't bring that old mindset, your old way of surviving, what you had to learn, how you learned to cope with certain things. Don't bring it into this season because this season is new. It's new. All of us had to develop some things that helped us make it through the old season. We learned to cope in different ways. But what God is saying is you don't have to do that here. You don't have to do that here. So your strategy is to not entertain the thoughts about what you need, to not entertain those thoughts about days that we haven't even lived to see yet, but to focus on what you're truly thankful for today. But not only just that, to express that gratitude through what you do. Ministry is something that in the old season, for me, it had become a chore. I love God, but I was growing out of love with it. That's real. But in this season, I've just learned to embrace Bo. She does not want to play. I've just learned to love it again. Learn to live. And I've done that by just embracing the now. If God ain't saying nothing, I'm being quiet. And that's just it. Y'all, I should have saw it. I should have let y'all see it. He over here doing WWE stuff. Then jumped and rolled. No, Bo. No, sweetie. Come here. Come here, Gremlin. Oh, gosh. Come here and pick you up. Now sit. Sit down. Listen. Y'all, he's smart now. He knows how to sit. He knows how to give a paw. I'm still working on the biting. Stop it, gremlin. Tell the people, hey. Tell them hello. Tell them, hey. Y'all, but that's it. Embrace the surrender. I like that. Embrace the now. You're not getting down. Embrace the now. That's it. Embrace the now. You're not getting down. Embrace the now. Embrace the now. That's it. That's the word. There are some of y'all that need to sow. I can't tell you what to sow, but you sow what's in your heart to sow. Sabrina, you need to sow seed into this word. The seed title is Embrace the Now. Is there anyone that needs to be sown for before I get off of here? Stop. Is there anyone that needs to be sown for before I get off of here? Is there anyone that needs to be sown for? Why you say, wow, Pastor Ron? Do I have anyone that can sow for Miss Allen? Do I have anyone that can sow for Miss Allen? If you can sow for Miss Allen, can you just type in God is faithful? Can you just type in God is faithful? Believe there's at least one. There are several people that can sow for her. No, you're not getting down. If you can sow for Miss Allen, can you simply just type in God is faithful? Type. Again, the seed title is Embrace the Now. We still need someone to sow for Miss Allen. If I had it, I would sow it for her. Close your mouth. If I had it, I would sow for her. Doesn't matter what you sow. You sow whatever the number God gives you to sow for her. It can be $1. It can be $5. It can be 10. It is a piece here, brother. It is. It is. And I think that that's where God wants us to be in this season. In perfect peace. And that's why he's telling us to embrace the now. For many people, the old season, it was just literally impossible to have peace. I know for me, it was impossible for me to keep my peace when I was going through what I was going through. It really was. But in this season, there's just been it's just been peace. It's just been peace. No worry, just peace. I still need someone to sow for Miss Allen. If you know that you're in a position to sow for her, she sows for anybody. She literally sows for anybody that needs to be sown for. If she has it, she never withholds. She never ever withholds. And so if you know that you're in a position to sow, again, you can sow $1. You can sow 10, you can sow 20, you can sow 100, you can sow whatever you feel led to sow. So she's now been sown for. To God be the glory. And that's it, y'all. If you know you need to sow, I encourage you to do so. If you need prayer for anything, prayer.thoughtsbyt at gmail.com is the way to do it. You were just sown for Miss Allen. If you need to book a session, those links are also there. But that is it. I love y'all. I am rooting for you. So until next time, y'all. Peace.